Hello, welcome to yet another video. My name is KenMath, and in this video we're going to talk about factorization. So we're going to talk about factorization, which is the opposite. I said in the previous video, I said factorization is the opposite of expansion. That is what I said. So the reverse of expansion is called factorization. So what does it mean when they say factorization? This involves the splitting of an expression into factors. So the splitting of an expansion into factors, that is what we call factorization. Now we usually split the expansion into factors. What is a factor? A factor is a number which goes into a given number without leaving a remainder. That is what we call a factor. So in this factorization, we're going to talk about quite a number of examples. So we are going to start with the examples. So we're going to say examples. Which is number one. So example number one. So example number one, we have got, remember we are talking about factorization. So the question can be factorize the following. So factorize the following, which is m n then minus k m minus h n then plus h k. So they have given us to factorize them, something like that. So how do we factorize? We factorize terms, which is the expression which is in terms. So for example, we have got how many terms there? We have got 4 terms. So we have got this one, we have got the other one, and then we have got this one, and then we have got this one. So we have got 4 terms. So if we have got 4 terms, it's very easy for us to factorize the fact that we have got 4 terms. It's very easy for us to factorize. If we had 3 terms, meaning that's a quadratic function, it's not we usually do other stuff. It's either we use a formula, or it's either we complete the square, we use the complete square method, or we can still factorize by finding the product, sum, and factors. That's what we do. So for this one, we're going to factorize. So how are we going to factorize that one? So we're going to factorize, we're going to cut them into 2, because we can only factorize 2 terms. So we factorize 2 terms, we factorize 4 terms, we factorize 6 terms, yes, those terms. So we're going to factorize this side alone and also the other side alone. So that's what we're going to do. So how are we going to do that? So we're going to find the common factors between these 2 terms. So we have got term number 1 and then we have got term number 2. So we're going to find the 2 factors for those 2 terms. So finding the common factors, or we can simply say, we can simply put them in brackets. We can say mn minus km and then close, and then we can say minus, because that's the side which is there. So minus h n and then plus h k. That's what we have. So if we have got something like that, we can factorize. So we can say, what's the common factor this side? It's m. So m is common, so outside, and then we open brackets, we say m and m cancels, so we're going to remain with n, minus m and m cancels, we're going to remain with k, so minus k, and then close brackets. So we have factorized this side. So if we have factorized this side, which is this expression, we can simply take it back, where we say m multiplied by n, it will give us mn, where we say m multiplied by k, it will give us km. Then from there, now we're going to factorize this side. So we can say minus, open bracket, say before we open the bracket, we find the common factor, which is h. So h is the common factor there. Then open bracket, we say h, negative cancels, which is positive, h and h cancels, which we're going to remain with n, and then negative multiplied by positive, it's negative, and then h cancels, we're going to remain with a. So we can see that what we have remained with here, we have remained with n minus k, and here in the bracket n minus k, meaning the same. So if these two, they are the same which are in the brackets, then we are correct. And then after that, now we're going to get the number which is outside, the value which is outside, and the value which is outside. We put them together. So we're going to say it's m minus h in brackets, and then open brackets again. We can say, we can choose 1 in the bracket, so which is n minus k in the brackets, in the other brackets. This is the final answer if they have told us to factorize. So this is an expression we have factorized by splitting of an expression into factors. So we have splitted this expression into 2 factors. That's what we have done. Okay, we go to another one. We go to example number 2. Example number 2. So example number 2, they have given us 5. We can say 5 minus 20, and then x square. 5 minus 20 x square. So if you have been given something like this, when you have been taught to factorize, we find the common factor. This one is just 2 terms, so we can factorize on its own just like this, the same way it is. So how do we factorize this one? We're going to say we have got the common factor 5. We're going to look for a number which can go into 5 and 20 without leaving a remainder, which I believe is 5. So 5 is the one that can go into 5, and it can also go into 20 without leaving a remainder, because that is our common factor. And then open bracket 5 into 5, which gives us 1, minus 5 into 20, it gives us 4x square, and then we close. Now when you reach at this point, it doesn't mean we are finished, because there is 4x square inside the bracket. So this one we can simply say, remember the last time I explained, I said the difference of 2 squares. So this one is a difference of 2 squares. So we're going to say 5, open big brackets, and then the difference of 2 squares, it should have 2 brackets inside, which is one with a positive and the other one with a negative. Those are the 2 different squares. So these 2 different squares, they're coming from 1 minus 4x squared. So the fact that we have got a squared here and the negative here, then there are 2 different squares. So from there we say we're going to split this one. So we're going to look for a number. When you multiply by itself, it will give us 1, which is 1. So 1 here and 1 there. And then the number, we're going to look for a number which when you multiply by itself, it will give us 4. It will give us 4. 2 times itself, it will give us 4, which is 2 here and 2. When you say 2 multiplied by 2, it is 2. So 1 times 1, it's 1. Positive 2 multiplied by negative 2, it is negative 4. And then x squared, it's the same as x squared. It's the same as multiplying by x times x, which is 1x can be here and another one in that one. So when you say x times x, it will give us x squared. This is how we factorize. This is how we factorize. It's very simple. It's very simple. Factorization is very simple. We go to example number 3. We go to example number 3 of this video. So example number 3, you can pause the video and try it on. So we can pause the video and try the example number 3. That's the example number 3 that we have. So they have said 4 minus 16x squared. So 4 minus 16x squared, we're going to do as the same as what we did in the previous video, or in the previous example, I mean. So from the previous example, the same way we did in the previous example is what we're going to do. So we're going to find the common factor, which is 4, because 4 can go into 4 and 16. So we can say 4 is our common factor, and then we open bracket, 4 into 4, it's 1, and then minus 4 into 16, it gives us a 4 square. So when we reach at this 4 square, what is in the bracket? In other terms, we can simply say, we can expand this, we can say 1 squared, in order for us 1 squared is the same as 1 multiplied by 1, it will give us 1, minus here 2 squared, so 2 squared is the same as 2 times 2, which will give us 4, and then we have got x squared. So x times x is the same as this one, and then from there we can say 4 open big brackets, and then x squared is the same as, we have got 2 different squares now, so we have got 2 different squares, so those are the 2 different squares, 2 brackets, and then the big one. So minus here and then positive there, or minus positive here, minus there. Then here 1 squared is same as 1 times 1, 2 squared is same as 2 times 2, x squared is same as x times x. That's what we have. So that is example number 3. So if that's the way you answered, you're correct. So example number 4, you can still pause the video and try to answer. So example number 4, we have got m squared minus 4n squared. So m squared minus 4n squared. Okay, for this one is the 2 different squares the same, or 2 different squares. So here we have got m squared, so we can say m squared, and then minus the number that you can multiply 2 times to give us 4, it's 2, so we can say 2 squared, and then we have got n squared. So 2 different squares. So if it's a 2 different square, we can say, remember I talked about 2 different squares, so 2 different square, positive and negative, because we have got a negative here, so that's the reason why it's a 2 different square. And then from there we can say m multiplied by m, it's m squared, 2 multiplied by 2, it's 2 squared, n multiplied by n, it is n squared. So that's what we have. So that's what we have there. Okay, so that's the final answer. That's the final answer. We go to example number 5. As I said, I'll give a lot of examples so that people understand. So we go to example number 5. Example number 5, we have got 3y square minus 12. So 3y square minus 12. That's the example number 3 that we have. So you can pause the video, try to answer, and you can also come back to check we can come back to check the answer if it's correct what you have answered. Okay, we move on. So 3x square minus 12. So which number can go into 3 and 12? It is 3. So 3 can go into that one. So open bracket, that's a common factor. 3 into 3, 1, which we are going to go with y square, minus 3 into 12, it's 4. So we're going to remain with that. So that when you say 3 multiplied by 3, y squared is 3y squared. 3 multiplied by 4, it is 12. And then from there, we'll say 3 open bracket y squared minus 4, it's same as 2 multiplied by 2, so 2 squared multiplied by 2, meaning it's a 2 different square. Remember, there's a negative and squared there, so it's a 2 different square. So I'll say 3 open bracket, so close open bracket and close, and then open close and then close. This is minus, that is positive. So y squared, it's same as y. So y times y, it's y squared. 2 squared, it's the same as 2. So that 2 times 2, it is 2. It's 4. So that is the final answer for that one. So those are the scenarios that they can give us. We move on. Go to example number 6, which is then the last example of this video. So example number 6 is x square. You can pause it as well. X square minus 4. X square minus 4. You can pause the video as well. So x square minus 4. So which gives us x square minus 4. It's same as 2 times 2. So 2 squared. It's the same as 2 squared. So 2 different square because there's a negative and 2 squares there. So from there we can say open bracket and open the other one, 2 different squares. So negative and positive. So x square, it's the same as x and x there, and then 2 squared, it's the same as 2 and 2 there. So that when you say x multiplied by x, it will give us x squared. 2 multiplied by negative 2 multiplied by positive 2, it's negative 2 squared. So that's what we have. So please, thank you very much for watching this video, and please don't forget to subscribe